三个部分呢，我们来结合这两套题的4、6题来为大家讲解一下4、6题的特点，还有这两套题应该如何作答。我们先来看一下 TPO2 的第4题。那么第4题呢，我们首先要阅读材料，然后听听力，然后再解析一下题目的要求，最后组织我们的答案进行作答。我们先来看一下这个 speech， 这个 reading 主要是关于什么的。我们同时在阅读的时候，还要把咱们的 keywords 一定要牢牢地记在脑海当中。People deal with each other every day. This interaction is at the heart of social life. The study of social interaction is concerned with the influence people have over one another's behavior. 也就是说，他讨论的极有可能是你的举动对其他人的这样一个影响。那么 people take each other into account in their daily behavior, and in fact, the very presence of others can affect behavior. 也就是说，当别人在场的时候，会对我们的一些举动进行影响。那么这样一种现象叫什么呢？在后面一段材料中就给出来了。For example, one principle of social interaction, audience effects. 这就是咱们要讨论的一个重点词了。Suggests that individuals' work is affected by their acknowledge that they are visible to others. 也就是说，别人在场的时候会对我们的行为进行一定的影响。这就是 audience effects。我们首先要抓住这个关键词，其次还要抓住对这个关键词的一个解释。The presence of others tends to alter the way people behave or perform an activity. 这就是一直在解释 audience facts 是什么。那么我们来看一下题目的要求。Explain how the examples of trying shoes and learning to type demonstrate the principle of audience effects. 也就是说，我们会听到一个 speech， 那么这个 speech 是关于 audience effects 的，里面还会有2个例子，一个是 trying shoes， 一个是 learning to type。所以我们抓住了这样一些关键信息和提示词之后，我们就可以来进行听力，之后再从听力中抓住一些 keywords。那么现在我们来听一下听力。
Now listen to part of a talk in a sociology class. The professor is discussing audience effects.
Okay, so we said that the way we interact with others has an impact on our behavior. In fact, there's some interesting research to suggest that in one type of interaction, when we're being observed, specifically when we know we're being watched as we perform some activity, we tend to increase the speed at which we perform that activity. In one study, college students were asked to each put on a pair of shoes with laces they would have to tie. Now, one group of students was told that they would be observed. The second group, however, didn't know they were being observed. The students who were aware that they were being watched actually tied their shoes much faster than the students who thought they were alone. Other studies confirm the same is true even when we're learning new activities. Let's say someone is learning a new task, for example, learning how to type. When they're conscious of being observed, they'll likely begin typing at a much faster rate than they would if they were alone. But, and this is interesting, the study also showed that certain common behavior, things people typically do, like making mistakes when you're learning something new, that behavior pattern will also increase. So in other words, when we're learning to type and we know we're being watched, we'll type faster, but we'll also make more mistakes.
咱们在听听力的时候啊，有没有注意到抓住它的示例的整个过程，还有它对这个 audience effects 的一些解释呢？那么我们来看一下这个答案。首先，我们是否就是应该解释一下 audience effect 是什么？ The principle of audience effects is that individuals' performance is affected by the acknowledge that others are watching them. 这就是从咱们的 reading 里面总结出来的。所以一句话概括一下，这是咱们作答第一步。第二步呢？ The professor uses examples of trying shoes and learning to type to demonstrate that we actually increase our speed of performing if we know that we are being observed. 前面一段部分其实在咱们审题的时候就有 demonstrate blah blah blah， 但是后面一部分是通过咱们听听力之后得出的结论，所以这样一句话作为一个过渡到后面的 examples 里面，这样一个过渡也是咱们急需要学会练习到的一种能力。In the example of trying shoes， 也就是说从这一部分开始，咱们就要把这两个 example 说清楚。那么 summarize 能力就非常重要了。那么 another example， learning to type， 然后注意这样一些逻辑词的一些使用，会让咱们的答案变得非常有逻辑性。元音啊、结语啊，还有一些 also the first the second， 这都是我们应当学习的一些逻辑词。So when we type faster, when we know we are being observed, we also make more mistakes. 这是一个小的细节，也是需要从我们的 listening 里面抓出来的。所以在回答这个题的时候，我们首先要抓住 audience effect 是什么，然后进行一个过渡到 professor 给的 example 里面，然后再把 example 分成两个，然后进行逐个的分解，这样我们的答案就比较完整了。下面呢，我们来看一下 TPO 第3套题的第4题，其实是一样的作答模式。咱们首先来看一下 reading， 知道一下它到底在叙述一个什么样的一个关键词，然后听一下听力。首先读一下文章。Individuals sometimes experience a contradiction between their actions and beliefs。抓住这样一些关键词。那么讨论的是什么呢？ A kind of mental discomfort known as cognitive dissonance。 所以这在叙述一个这样一个专有名词。People experience cognitive dissonance often do not want to change the way they are acting, so they resolve the contradictory situation in another way. They change their interpretation of the situation in a way that minimizes the contradiction between what they are doing and what they believe should be doing. 也就是说，从这段中我们理解到，这样一个行为，人们在一个 what they plan to do and what they are actually doing 之间有一个 struggle， 这就是一个重点了。我们来看一下这题目的要求。Using the example discussed by the professor, explain what this is and how people often deal with it. 也就是说，我们首先要解释一下这是一个什么现象，其次呢，人们是如何对待的。那咱们先听一下听力，了解一下这个说话的主要内容。
Now listen to part of a lecture about this topic in a sociology class.
This is a true story from my own life. In my first year in high school, I was addicted to video games. I played them all the time, and I wasn't studying enough. I was failing chemistry. That was my hardest class. So this was a conflict for me because I wanted a good job when I grew up, and I knew that if you want a good career, you got to do well in school. But I just couldn't give up video games. I was completely torn. And my solution was to change my perspective. See, the only class I was doing really badly in was chemistry. In the others, I was okay. So I asked myself if I wanted to be a chemist when I grew up. And the fact is, I didn't. I was pretty sure I wanted to be a sociologist. So I told myself my chemistry class didn't matter, because sociologists don't really need to know chemistry. In other words, I changed my understanding of what it meant to do well in school. I reinterpreted my situation. I used to think that doing well in school meant doing well in all my classes. But now I decided that succeeding in school meant only doing well in the classes that related directly to my future career. I eliminated the conflict, at least in my mind.
听完了听力呢，相信大家都记下了一些 keywords。那么我们来对比一下这个答案，看看咱们缺少在哪里。首先，我们要给出一个定义 ：What is cognitive dissonance? It is a kind of mental discomfort people feel when they experience contradictions between their actions and their beliefs. 这个是完全根据 readings 来进行总结的，然后用这样一句话进行一个过渡到 professor 的 speech 上。The professor uses his own experience to illustrate this phenomenon. 然后后面就是对 professor 这一个举例的这样一个叙述 相信大家都会做得很好。然后唯一需要注意的就是把它的那种 conflict 一定要写出来，然后它的 solution 是什么，这整个过程都需要表示出来。 So 表示结果，那么他在体会到这种 contradiction 之后，他所采用的，首先 initially 他一开始是怎么做的， but then 他的行为改变了，那么最终他采取了一个什么样的方式 to eliminate the conflict， 这个答案就已经跃然纸上了。我们接着看一下 TPO2 的第6题。那么第6题 Using the points examples from the talk, explain the 2 definitions of money presented by the professor。 也就是说第6题是一个 professor 的 speech， 那么他在这个题里面会提到一个事情或一个观点，那么这个如何定义，我们需要把它复述出来，而且还要一定要听到 professor 的一些 examples， 这是非常重要的。然后我们先来听一下听力。
Now listen to part of a talk in an economics class.
So, let's talk about money. What is money? Well, typically people think of coins and paper bills as money, but that's using a somewhat narrow definition of the term. A broad definition is this: money is anything that people can use to make purchases with. Since many things can be used to make purchases, money can have many different forms. Certainly, coins and bills are one form of money. People exchange goods and services for coins or paper bills, and they use this money, these bills, to obtain other goods and services. For example, you might give a taxi driver $5 to purchase a ride in his taxi, and he in turn gives the $5 to a farmer to buy some vegetables. But as I said, coins and bills aren't the only form of money under this broad definition. Some societies make use of a barter system. Basically, in a barter system, people exchange goods and services directly for other goods and services. The taxi driver, for example, might give a ride to a farmer in exchange for some vegetables. Since the vegetables are used to pay for a service, by our broad definition, the vegetables are used in barter as a form of money. Now, as I mentioned, there's also a second, a narrower definition of money. In the United States, only coins and bills are legal tender, meaning that by law, a seller must accept them as payment. The taxi driver must accept coins or bills as payment for a taxi ride, okay? But in the U.S., the taxi driver is not required to accept vegetables in exchange for a ride. So a narrower definition of money might be whatever is legal tender in a society, whatever has to be accepted as payment.
听完了听力呢，相信大家都记录了一些笔记。那么有一些关键词是一定要落上的，比如说 definitions of money， 然后画2个树状，是吧？第一个是什么？第二个是什么？而且他举了一个什么样的例子，最好越具体越好，这就非常考察咱们的听和记的能力。The professor talks about 2 definitions of money， 这是一个句首 ，a broad one and a narrow one， 这是一个总结，对不对？ By the broad definition， 那么我们就开始进行叙述了。And for example， 这就把 professor speech 里面的例子举了出来。第二点呢，就是 money 的 narrow definition。那么说出这个 narrow definition 以后，我们进行了一定的陈述，并且举了一些例子。最后落脚到 so dollar in the form of coin and bill is money。所以这个答案还是非常明确清楚的。首先给出了一个定义，然后其次呢，针对不同的方面进行了讲解和例子的举例，所以这个答案就非常明白了。我们来看一下第3套题的第6题。Using the examples from the talk, explain how persuasive strategies are used in advertising. 首先抓住一些关键词 persuasive strategies， 这是什么？我们一定要听明白，而且在 advertising 里面是怎样利用的，我们要把这个 how 一条一条的举出来。所以了解了题的内容之后，我们先听一下听力。
Now listen to part of a lecture in a psychology class.The professor is discussing advertising strategies.
In advertising, various strategies are used to persuade people to buy products. In order to sell more products, advertisers will often try to make us believe that a product will meet our needs or desires perfectly, even if it's not true. The strategies they use can be subtle, friendly forms of persuasion that are sometimes hard to recognize. In a lot of ads, repetition is a key strategy. Research shows that repeated exposure to a message, even something meaningless or untrue, is enough to make people accept it or see it in a positive light. You've all seen the car commercials on TV, like the one that refers to its roomy cars over and over again. You know which one I mean. This guy is driving around and he keeps stopping to pick up different people. He picks up 3 or 4 people, and each time the narrator says, "Plenty of room for friends, plenty of room for family, plenty of room for everybody." The same message is repeated several times in the course of the commercial. Now, the car actually looks kind of small. It's not a very big car at all, but you get the sense that it's pretty spacious. You'd think that the viewer would reach the logical conclusion that the slogan misrepresents the product. Instead, what usually happens is that when the statement "plenty of room" is repeated often enough, people are actually convinced it's true. Another strategy they use is to get a celebrity to advertise a product. It turns out that we're more likely to accept an advertising claim made by somebody famous, a person we admire and find appealing. We tend to think they're trustworthy. So you might have a car commercial that features a well-known race car driver. Now, it may not be a very fast car. It could even be an inexpensive vehicle with a low performance rating. But if a popular race car driver is shown driving it and saying, "I like my cars fast," then people will believe the car is impressive for its speed.
好了，听力做完了，相信大家都记下了一些 keywords。那么，首先 keywords 是不是这 two kinds of persuasive strategies in advertising 是有2种的，咱们一定要标出1、2，并且在叙述的基础上一定要记下来 Professor 举的一些具体例子，这样咱们在 summarize 的时候，通过这样一些 keywords 来提醒自己回忆咱们听力中的具体内容。The first strategy is repetition， 然后后面我们就进行了一个举例。那么第二个方面呢，就是 using celebrities， 利用一个名人效应。那么同样我们进行了一个举例。其实这个答案呢，如果还可以更好一点的话，最好在最后加入一个总结。比如说 the first strategy is and the second is, so that would be all, right? 那么进行一个总结会让咱们的老师啊非常明确的听到你的答案，这样子就让咱们的答案非常的首尾呼应，逻辑清楚。同时建议大家用一些比较清楚明确的关键词，比如说 the first, the second， 这样提示老师抓住你的一些得分点、信息点。好了，这就是今天讲课的主要内容，我们下次再见。